Quod scripsi scripsi, said Pontius Pilate when he made Jesus Christ the King of the Jews. What I have written, I have written. We can destroy what we have written, but we cannot unwrite it. You are free. Part 1. 1. What's it going to be then, eh? There was me, that is Alex, and my 3 droogs, that is Pete, Georgie and Dim, Dim being really dim. And we sat in the Corova milk bar making up our razodocs what to do with the evening, a flip, dark, chill winter bastard, though dry. The Corova milk bar was a Milk Plus mesto, and you may, oh my brothers, have forgotten what these mestos were like, things changing so scorry these days, and everybody very quick to forget, newspapers not being read much neither. Well, what they sold there was Milk Plus something else. They had no licence for selling liquor, but there was no law yet against prodding some of the new veskies which they used to put into the old Moloko, so you could peat it with Velocet or Synthmesk or Drencrom or 1 or 2 other vesties, which would give you a nice quiet horror show 15 minutes admiring Bog and all his holy angels and saints in your left shoe with lights bursting all over your mosque. Or you could peat milk with knives in it, as we used to say, and this would sharpen you up and make you ready for a bit of dirty 20-1. And that was what we were peating this evening I'm starting off the story with. Our pockets were full of deng, so there was no real need from the point of view of crasting any more pretty Polly to toll-chock some old vec in an alley and viddy him swim in his blood while we counted the takings and divided by 4, nor to do the ultra-violent on some shivering, starry, grey-haired petitzer in a shop and go smecking off with the till's guts. But, as they say, money isn't everything. The 4 of us were dressed in the height of fashion, which in those days was a pair of black, very tight tights with the old jelly mould, as we called it, fitting on the crutch underneath the tights, this being to protect and also a sort of design you could viddy clear enough in a certain light so that I had one in the shape of a spider, Pete had a rooker, a hand that is, Georgie had a very fancy one of a flower, and poor old Dim had a very hound and horny one of a clown's litso face that is, Dim not ever having much of an idea of things and being, beyond all shadow of a doubting Thomas, the dimmest of we 4. Then we wore wasty jackets without lapels but with these very big built-up shoulders, plechos we called them, which were a kind of a mockery of having real shoulders like that. Then, my brothers, we had these off-white cravats which looked like whipped-up kartoffel or spud with a sort of design made on it with a fork. We wore our hair not too long, and we had flip horror show boots for kicking. What's it gonna be then, eh?